We are live 364 days a year. What are we doing here?
If Dom turns at SummerSlam, I'm shaving my moustache off. I've told you, if that happens, it's going. My lip is cold because of a stupid bet that I made with YouTube.
Oh, good.
Wrestle's better than Daniel Bryan. Bryan Daniels. Better than Okada.
How did not get sushi after Monday Night Raw?
Welcome to Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast, a show where a rotating cast of wrestling fans from around the world come and share and debate their opinions, with live comments from all of you shown throughout, as after all, fans are what makes wrestling so special. So sit back, grab a beverage, and enjoy the show.
What is going on, everybody? Happy New Year. It is Thursday, January 1st, 2026. Believe it or not, it's a new year. It's crazy. New year, new me, whatever. Nothing new here, though, because we're breaking down Dynamite as we do every single Thursday after an episode of AEW Dynamite on Wednesday nights, and I've got the usual crew with me. First and foremost, I'm going to keep it on the West Coast. I love that I get to do that at least once a week these days. Out in Palm Springs, out in the desert, we've got All Elite Mary. Happy New Year. What's going on?
Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everybody. All our wonderful, wonderful, wonderful viewers. I hope you guys had a fantastic New Year's Eve. But as usual, every Thursday with yours truly, we're going to break down the New Year's Smash. Let's get into it.
Absolutely. I can't wait. I'm excited. But before we do, I got to send this one across the country to the East Coast, to the DMV. Get your twos up. It may be a Thursday, not a Tuesday, but it's the Tuesday Night Delight himself. Shoddy, Happy New Year. How you been?
What's going on, man? It's your boy Shad Talks Graps, and we are back with another installment for the first Wrestling Republic daily broadcast of 2026. I was part of the last Wrestling Republic daily broadcast of 2025, but I'm excited. And my new alias is the Saya Kamatani Stan. I want to be called that from now on. Going forward, the Saya Stan. So make sure, call me Shad Talks Graps, call me Saya Stan, whatever you want to call me. Just know, bad talk wrestling. Let's get into
it. was that your way of ditching the Tuesday night nickname? I thought we had a good thing going with that.
We got that too. I'm a man of many different aliases, bro.
A man of many nicknames.
More than duality here.
Where did our camera go? Someone's been moving stuff around here. Backstage at WR over the new year. Come on, guys. You can't be throwing me off my game January 1st. We got Zach Minger in the comments here with Happy New Year. No doubt about it. Happy New Year as well.
Amazing Happy. Is that Mario in a Woody outfit?
I'm pretty confident that's Mario cosplayed as Woody. Yeah, that's outstanding.
Oh, yeah.
We've also got Fernando's eyes in the comments with it's time to light the fuse and ignite this Dynamite review. Yes, sir, it is. I hope you had a Happy New Year for sure. And then congrats to Willow. Yes, we will get to that. No question about it. We've also got DCX Warlord. Happy New Year's. And Staten Gale runs 2026. I love that.
That's
New
a
Year
fire
me
name.
Does not apply to Clark and Aunt You when it comes to that American narcissistic nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Yep. Same guy. He's always been the same guy. You're absolutely spot on there, DCX Warlord. And then the Young Bucks are in the building with Shad Merry. I love that.
DCS Warlord is definitely a true fan. He knows. He marks everything down.
He knows, man.
He got the friend of the show tagline long ago, right? He's now just a friend of the program. There's no doubt about that. Let's get right into it, though, because everybody wants MJF's title belts. I'm not doing that. Come on, Ben. What are we doing here? I do love that he just did the classic Big Three. There's just Big Me line. I thought that was fun. I'm not gonna lie to you. For some reason, obviously it's New Year's Eve last night, watching the show and everything, and it's the opening segment. So like I'm paying attention, but I'm half finished cleaning up dinner and whatnot. In the background, sort of, and the way Shivani reacted to him throwing the title out of the ring, it made me laugh so hard. He's like, what has he done? He threw the world title out of the ring, and there's clearly like a cloaked new title in the middle of the ring. It made me laugh so hard. It tickled me. I thought it was totally worth it. Yeah, obviously we have the lights out match basically booked for next week as well. At the end of this, everyone's getting involved. I thought the Kenny aspect was great. If I had one complaint, it would be I think they could have just ended the segment on the Kenny and and Max back and forth, and then maybe you do later in the show, you mix in the rest of it somehow. It felt like they were so two separate things that I that would be sort of my instinct coming out of it. Mary, I want to get your thoughts on it, because at the end of the day, Max can still cut a heck of a promo, and I thought the new title belt looked absolutely great, right?
100%. When I saw that silhouette sitting on that little table, I said, it's like Clark said last week, all is right in the world. Triple B is back. But I will agree that this segment, it was fantastic. Don't get me wrong. The promo back and forth with everybody. I will say it was a little crowded. It could have been like spread out just a tad little bit. Let Kenny have his moment for a little bit, just to be like, hey, I'm next, whenever that may be. And then maybe Bandito appears for just a moment. And then we'll have the Swerve and Hangman just like a little bit later, maybe. But everybody showed up. That's fine. We have a lights out match confirmed for next week. We're going to get Hangman and Swerve against the Ops. Hopefully setting up for a possible trios match down the road. Not sure who that third person would be. We'll never know.
I actually, you know what? I didn't even consider that they could relate this back to the trios championship at some point as well. I like the lights out match a lot. I'm excited for Hook. Everyone knows I'm the leader of the Hookamaniacs. I invented the whole club. I think I'm the only member, but either way, I am excited for him to be in a lights out match alongside Samoa Joe. It's a great guy to learn from at the end of the day. But this, it still just left me a little bit. There was just some to be desired, because it felt like it should have been really about the Kenny and Max back and forth. That was, to me, the most important part of the segment, and it just immediately gets overshadowed. And I love lights out matches as much as anybody else. Don't get me wrong. And Swerve and Hangman, I'm shocked that week by week, I actually am starting to like the enemy of the enemy is my friend, or the way it's working. Their chemistry is starting to get better. It felt like square peg round hole at first. I'm starting to enjoy that more, but again, it just overshadowed. I thought the Omega aspect was the most important part. So, Shad, I want to ask you about all of that, your thoughts on it, and just maybe an early prediction for the lights out match, as well as the next contender, the next title shot against Max. And what is happening to StreamYard?
All right, so let me know when you're ready.
just
go ahead,
Shad.
The floor is yours. The floor is
What
yours.
is happening, dude?
Just rock with it like this. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So it's all good. StreamYard, do better in the new year. So here's my thing. I have zero interest seeing Hangman Adam Page in the main event title scene for the title at this point. I thought the moment the feud with him and Mox was the peak, and the way we kind of went through it, him losing to Samoa Joe, it just stripped all intrigue for me to see him currently in the main event scene going for that title. I don't care how angry he gets. I don't care about all of that. It just comes off as, okay, we're repeating of what he's done before. I think he needs a little bit of a hard reset. I think he needs to kind of step away. And if the avenue is Swerving and Hangman tag teaming, then I'm okay with that. But let's keep him away from Max. You're not selling me a match against either of them versus MJF. He's beaten all of them in that fatal four-way. That goes for Samoa Joe as well. I've lost a lot of interest in seeing all three of those guys in the main event picture. I agree 100% with you. Kenny Omega should have been the main focus last night, because that is the money match. That is what is going to get fans excited. Kenny back into the main event picture. Max as our world champion, that being his first potential opponent, like all of that, just it sits well with me. And I agree. I feel everything kind of felt convoluted after that, tying all of the ops situation and them both coming out from, dark state coded from, from the crowd. Like it just kind of made me be like, okay, again, here we go again. I didn't like it too much. And I think it kind of took away a lot from what the importance of that was supposed to be. Now, in regards to the lights out match, I don't care who wins. Let it be Hangman and Swerve beating the ops. That's fine. If they can find a friend, they could have a trios feud. That's fine. The problem I have is this, because we're not even talking about it on the show today. Bandito. That's who the next opponent technically is. That's the guy who won the prestige ring after MJF. That's the match that should be set. And we just had Bandito have a banger match with Beast Mortos, which is, cool. They've had a couple bangers against each other this past year. But why wasn't anything progressed and built with that? Why are we relegating him to just a simple backstage interaction? Like, you got, like, Max, this is the thing. MJF knows how to sell a story. Allow MJF to tell that story, go into that promo exchange, whatever it may be with Bandito, and make Bandito look like an imposing threat. Not just it being a dream match for a dream match. Like, I know it's not no long feud, but that should be a very important factor because that guy won something significant and he's earned himself a big time title match, especially since MJF won the title and the history of the Diamond Ring. So to me, I didn't love the opening segment that much. I'll be real with you. Like, I was initially excited with the Kenny part, but after that, it kind of dwindled off and I just didn't care as much.
Yeah, that's the problem for me too. I think we might supposed to be using this camera. That's also maybe why. I don't know. Just things got moved around. Either or. What do the fans like? Say in the comments. Either way, at the end of the day, yeah, Shad, we're on the same page when it comes to this one because the other factor is, like you said, Max can tell a great story on the mic. You could have just sent him out there to just eviscerate Bandito as he reveals the new belt. I don't need that stupid ring anymore. And absolutely eviscerate him, and maybe Bandito gets his comeuppance by sort of surprising Max, and then he hightails it out. You can have the Kenny segment back and forth. I mean, remember, Kenny's basically on Zoom. And to me, I thought, yeah, his promo was awesome, but he was basically on Zoom. And so you could have, squeezed that part in later in the show. You could have changed. It's almost like the order of events was messed up more than it was like an overbooked segment. Like all of the things that happened should have happened, but just at different times. Like
I agree with that. If you were gonna bring the the marriage counseling couple that is Hangman and Swerve Strickland, come up and have that be the beginning, but then end off like you mentioned with Kenny's video at the end and him kind of saying, "I'm gunning for you. Like I'm taking that back. I'm back on top and I'm taking that title from you," type of a situation.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think we're all on the same page here. And honestly, we could probably break this down the rest of the show if we wanted to, because I was fascinated by the segment in the sense that, is Max going to win the title every time and then just change the belt? Which I also dig. I thought that was funny and tongue in cheek. And that's one other factor, I guess, if I was going to complain about one more thing before we go to the next segment. I actually wish they would have made somehow a bigger deal out of it. That he would never just carry the regular title because he's MJF. And he could have compared it back to the Diamond Ring, right? I don't need that anymore. I've got this, right? And then we ended up with the Triple B. Come on, man. Whatever. Like, it is what it is. But we've also got some comments I want to run through really quick, because speaking of friends of the show, Tom Talks Rubbish. Happy New Year, my friend. What's going on? Good to have you as always. And appreciate your support, no doubt. Chris LeClaire with Happy New Year as well. Swerve versus MJF would be fire. I want to see that match ASAP from Fernando. Yeah, I don't think anybody would turn that one down. Put that on a poster for sure, right? That's a no-brainer there. DCX Warlord, MJF has 6 rings and Bandito has his 7th Dynamite Diamond ring. That's the best. Exactly. Yeah, there's some Max logic there. Yes, he has his 7th. Let's get on to a different match here, though, and let's talk about Jon Moxley and Josh Alexander, because, man, Moxley winning the Continental Classic, I called on accident. I admitted it publicly after I made the prediction on the show. I just got lucky there. I wasn't totally sure. The babyface promo was very interesting at World's End. My expectations headed into this one, I didn't really have any. I really wasn't sure what to think here. I didn't know what to expect, but I love, after winning the tournament, still using the submission style, still the grinded out style, back and forth, banger of a match, and people just forget just how dang good of a professional wrestler Josh Alexander is. On the other side of this match, that is just an absolute fact. Shadi, I'm going to ask you about it here. What were your thoughts? Moxley, Death Riders, we didn't get our breakup yet. It's not happening yet.
It'll come soon, but let's relish in the moment, man. The apology got to be as loud as the complaint from wrestling fans because people was talking crazy about Jon Moxley majority of 2025, and oh, does he make all of y'all look like complete idiots right now? Like he is back in his bizag, like he is showing y'all why he is the ace of AEW. And last night, that match was a banger. That's a wrestling match. If you know what a wrestling match is, they went to the limit. That was violent. That was physical. That was well wrestled. That was graps. The whole nine. They gave him a lot of time, and they went out and had a clinic. And it reminds you how amazing Jon Moxley is, and honestly, how amazing of a year he finished off with last year. Like he has been the most constant in AEW in all of 2025. Whether you love it or whether you hate it, it doesn't matter. He is the person that put the company afloat in so many ways, giving you so many good matches, giving you so many good moments, like leading a faction. Like Moxley really has done so much last year. And I don't care what anyone says. Like I said this the other day, out of his, whatever, WWE fans get mad at me for a quick second. Walk with me. Out of him, Seth, and Roman, he clearly had the best year out of all those Shields guys. Like out of his brothers, he had the best year out of all three of them. That goes with in-ring ability. That goes with character work. That goes with accomplishments, everything. He outclassed both of those guys by a mile. And I know Seth got hurt. I hope he gets healthy. All of that. Cool, bro. Talk about your Chicago Bears on SportsCenter. No one cares about that. Let's talk about what you do for this industry. And he did that. And he continuously does that. And the babyface arc is going to feed families this year. He's about to have a better 2025 in 2026. And he is going to make all of y'all that said, well, he needs to go back to the WWE and we need to have the Shield reunion tour and all hugs and matches at Mania. Man, shut up. Nobody wants that. I don't want Dean Ambrose. I want Jon M.F. Moxley on my screen, and I want him to do what he's been continuing doing.
I can't lie to you. Thank goodness that the camera cut worked properly this time because I almost shot water through my nose when you said WWE fans walk with me. I
had to mute for a second.
I had to stretch my legs. I was laughing so hard. I was like, I'm getting lightheaded. That is so spot on. And I love that. I agree, man. Listen, of the three right now, Moxley, man, he chose a different path, but it's the difference of, you and I are both hip hop fans, Shad, right? Mm-hmm. The most mainstream MC, the most mainstream album is going to be what it's going to be. Every now and again, somebody that's not on a major label drops the album of the year, the most important one in the industry. Moxley keeps like doing that over and over again. He's charting and he's not on the major label and he's not, right? Whatever. He's doing his own thing, but it works 100%. I couldn't agree more. Fernando's in agreement as well here. And you saying LOL, the Philadelphia Eagles lost to the Chicago Bears. That's sweet of you, Chris. But I do love that. I love just the deadpan. Now I will also add to this really quickly because we usually don't do promotional stuff here. I'm totally kidding. Tom Talks Rubbish, really good friend of the show. After this, if you have nothing to do, he interviewed our very own Kobe Galanzowski as well. That's already up on the Tom Talks Rubbish channel. He also interviewed Ben Allison. That is up as well. If you just want the highlights, both the highlights are up too. And then if you really want to listen to the good interview, you just wait till tomorrow, head over to Tom Talks Rubbish, and you can listen to us go back and forth for an hour. It was great.
Talk a little bit of rubbish.
Yeah, it was one of the best conversations I've had in a long time, though, and really monster shout out and thank you to Tom as well for having me on the show. We had an absolute blast, and it was really fun recording it. And I'm glad to see I'm the first show of 2026. I've already got one accomplishment in the new year. I feel great about it.
Good for you, man.
I'm fired up, dude. Tom gave me that one, so I appreciate it. So I figured pay it forward there, no doubt, with a little promotional action. But let's keep it on AEW Dynamite last night because Ricochet retains against Jungle Man. It's not Jungle Boy anymore. He went from boy to man. And if you've seen the Jungle Book, that's pretty much the entire story of that movie. But Ricochet does retain here, and he's still bald. I do want your thoughts on the match here, Mary. So am I, though.
I can't do that. If y'all paid me, I could not do that little laugh he does. But as far as the match itself, I will say Mr. Jack Perry continues to impress me. He was definitely missed throughout this year. I feel this last year. Sorry, I know I'm still in 2025, y'all. Bear with me. With last year, Jack Perry, I felt like he was definitely missed. And I think last night just kind of showed his singles competitiveness in a whole new level to someone like Ricochet. I know everybody in the community wants to call him a certain word, and I loved how they incorporated that last night too. I can't help but say I was laughing my head off. But the match, it was fine. It was good. It was back and forth, really great high flying action between the two. I've always been a really great fan of Ricochet, even to his prior duties before AEW and before him even becoming a champion. I am very surprised that Ricochet is a champion coming into 2026. I never thought that'd be on my bucket list. But the Gates of Anarchy, I felt like were the stars of the match, with them beating the brakes off of our poor dinosaur. Poor Luchasaurus, man. He's had a rough year too. But I hope going forward it kind of shows the national championship in a different way, that it is something to look forward to. It is something to fight for. And despite all the controversy behind it, it is a championship. And I think anyone can get it at this point.
Absolutely. And I want to break down a couple of things that you mentioned. Number one, the Gates of Agony are like, I'm not going to lie, I adore them as a tag team. They're a real tag team. They operate as a real tag team, and would love to see a serious push for the Gates of Agony in 2026. You also talked about the high flying action and everything when it comes to Ricochet. I think it's so funny with the gimmick and the bald jokes and the laugh and all of this stuff. And he's a heel, and it's different than WWE. And 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, what were we saying? And it wasn't on this program because it's only this is only whatever, a 3-year-old. But at the same time, what was everybody saying? Well, there's no way Ricochet can still wrestle that style and sustain it when he gets older. And there's no way that he's going to be able to do all that stuff athletically still when he gets older. So maybe he can't do everything he could do 6, 7 years ago. But the guy looks older. He's incorporated the bald aspect into the gimmick. He acts like cringy older in a way as well, too. And then he still pulls off all of the old flips, all of the old tricks, everything you've ever seen. And it was like, well, he's also limited to, he can't really be a heel because he's too, he's too high flying. It's too, the spots are too great. Well, yes, he can.
People also forget, like, wrestling, like your IQ improves throughout time, right? Like Roman Reigns don't wrestle probably as much as he did compared to his early days. Like a lot of people, honestly, like the styles and what you do changes up. And to be honest with you, like that was like people are talking about like Dragon Gate Ricochet early when he was also Prince Puma and Lucha Underground.
Lucha Underground, yeah.
But a lot of that a lot of it got watered down as soon as he came onto the main roster, right? But to me, I feel like he is taking a lot of what he learned in the WWE. I'm talking solely in-ring wise, by the way. I'm not talking about character-wise, because I think he learned how to be himself by giving the opportunity to be himself character-wise in AEW. But in-ring wise, I feel like he learned a lot of that. And then he also still gives you a bit of what he's done in the past. Like I feel like he's a well-operated wrestler when it comes to being able to do the high-flying and athletic spots, but also working like a heel, doing a lot of the heel tactics, playing dirty and stuff like that too. Like he's honestly at the peak of his career overall with everything right now. Like to me, Ricochet is at the top of his game, and people doubted that, and he's making them look foolish.
And to your point, like the perfect analogy I think I would go with is like, Michael Jordan early in his career would just go to the basket and jam in your face That was his offensive game, right? Of course, later in his career, left block, right block, hip, turn around, fade away, all of that. Nobody ever said he couldn't still dunk, right? And that's the thing with Ricochet to me, where I find it interesting. He can still do all of that stuff. Now he's put together the character, the bell-to-bell stuff, as you mentioned, all of it, and to your point, talking about wrestling IQ, that Jordan comparison, I'm not saying he's the Michael Jordan of wrestling. That's an extreme comparison. That's just like an analogy there. You know what I mean?
They both bald though.
Yeah, multiple players have developed fadeaways. Jordan, I'm not saying he's Michael Jordan, but I do think in this instance, that's sort of the key for Ricochet. The other factor here is, and you mentioned it with the idea, Mary, of the Gates of Agony taking on potentially, a boy and his dinosaur, or a man and his dinosaur now. Do we call them, are they Jurassic Park now, not Jurassic Express? I'm not sure. I don't know exactly.
I have a little problem with licensing on that one. But
I think that one's going to be tough.
Copyright issues, but
he got the final countdown though, so you never know with Tony Khan. And that's like one of the hardest songs to get.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
But I mean, for the tag division, I think that's really important here. Here's my only issue is Jack seems to be, of the two, like, we tried to push Luchasaurus as kill switch. We did. We made an effort. We had him aligned with Christian and all of that. He had a wild match with Darby Allin back in the day at All Out in Chicago and everything, renamed and all of the above. Jungle Boys, no longer Jungle Boys, Jungle Man now. The tag team's back, but it does seem to feel like, to me, only Jack of the two is ever pushed in singles action. And I'm wondering if, just in the long run, do we want to try to get as quickly as possible to Jurassic Express being in the tag team titles picture? Because I think that's the solution. If we're going to have them be a team, have them be a team and focus on that tag wrestle. You have to wrestle tag team matches to accomplish things in the tag team division. And I want to get your thoughts really quickly on that, Mary.
I mean, kind of what I was saying with Luchasaurus and like him being injured for most of the rest of the year, if I'm right. He wasn't injured the entire year. He was injured for quite a bit of time. And then him coming out last night to that really, really, really bandaged shoulder and arm. I mean, gosh, I have a bum shoulder and I felt bad for the guy. I really did. I was like, oh man, no. So I think until that kind of settles down, I feel like that's when they can jump into the tag division and they feel comfortable with no hesitation on the two of them working together, as long as both are healthy and no one's hurting themselves and no injuries for the near future.
I agree. And that's one more thing though that I find kind of fascinating about Jurassic Express in general. We look at all these tag teams that we had back in the early days of AEW. You had your Proud and Powerful, of course, the Young Bucks, Lucha Bros. Then you've got Best Friends. You've got Jurassic Express, all of the above. Then you add FTR to the mix, and you add, even for, a little bit of time, like Hardys to the mix at certain points. As far as stats being padded and things like that, career resumes are concerned, I think that's an interesting topic when it comes to this year in wrestling in particular. I think you have a real opportunity right now to pad some stats for Jurassic Express, because Jungle Boy's Jungle Man, but he's still young enough, and Luchasaurus, and as a tag team, to really give them more than the one reign, a longer run, some sort of a record, have them in the record books that benefits both of them down the road. 2026 would be a great year for that, I think, for both, not only Jungle Man, Jack Perry, but Luchasaurus as well. I think that, because it took a lot also out of All In of image healing for Jack Perry coming back. It's healed. We all want to wave our hands to Baltimore. We all love it. It's great. And we missed it too when it was gone. There's no doubt about it. I will say this complete sidebar here. I agree. I hope Orange Cassidy's okay. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. That was a tough spot. Yeah. I am with you there. I think we all are on the same page when it comes to that one. But let's talk about something a little bit more positive here because I am fired up. Our very own Ben Allison mentioned quite some time ago on his own program, Allison Analysis. Look at me just handing out free advertising. But he mentioned that a lot of people that have been highly critical of Mercedes Moné's run to gaining all of these titles would owe apologies in the coming year. And I agreed with him when he said it. And I don't often with Ben, but I agreed with him 100%. And then they booked this match. I was terrified. I was terrified because all I could think is this. These fits that Mercedes is throwing in the ring post losses are excellent. They're perfect. Every single time. Now's the time. The tide has turned. The losing streak has started. But if you were ever going to keep someone on their toes, or somehow pulling out a victory last night, I was terrified that it was possible, and they got me, and that's why I think this was one of the best booked matches for any title in quite some time, because I was like, please, I'm begging you, don't just be like, okay, loss. No, wait, she beats Willow and keeps it. No fit tonight. Take the cookie out of my hands. No fit tonight. Right? Like, oh, no hands in the cookie jar. Like, no, not yet. Now. No. And Willow earned it. And the match was awesome. I got into the match. I was invested throughout. The Powerbomb's money. Willow Nightingale is arguably one of the most likable human beings of all time, let alone professional wrestlers. She's just awesome. Could not be more stoked for her. And everything worked out perfectly on this one in my eyes. Mary, what did you think, though? I mean, crowning moment for Willow. Yes,
Wow.
She's won the title in the past, but this felt like rocket ship Willow Nightingale.
And please strap it now, strap her to the moon. I was so happy for her. If you want to look up in the dictionary a definition of a full circle moment, this was definitely one of them. To have her lose the belt in the very, very, very beginning and then catch it at the very end. That was the long-term storytelling that honestly, and it's like you said, Clark, in the beginning, that we would kind of owe Mercedes an apology. And I will sit here and say, I'm sorry. I am sorry, Miss Monet. You proved me wrong. And without a doubt, that match showcase, that's going to be talked about for the rest of the year. How stacked with the spots between the two. Is she going to beat her? Is Monet actually going to pull it off? Is she going to do the upset and actually retain? She's going to do it. Wait, Willow powerbomb. She did it. Yay. It was just the sheer excitement is what got me. And I haven't felt that kind of excitement in so long with how progressive wrestling matches can be. And this blew me out of the water. Congrats to Miss Willow Nightingale.
I'm so with you. And that's the thing is, like, it felt like a real feel-good moment, right? Like, it actually did when she got the victory. And as DCX Warlord is pointing out here, Stat and Gale were the ones who ended the historic reigns of both Jade and Mercedes. I love that. That's the other thing that's so impressive to me about Monet's run. And Shad, you and I have covered her all year as well. And extensively, to be honest, further even back than last year, right? When it comes to the move to AEW, even the New Japan debut, that far back in all of this. I think the brilliance of what Mercedes Moné did is she recognized that, okay, she's in the Four Horsewomen, can't take that away. It's going to be controversial. Some people are going to be a little upset that she made the move away from the comfy cruise ship to the fishing yacht, right? She did, and that was going to be controversial, but then she built stock by winning all of these titles so that she could tell this story. And the brilliance of that, the discipline it takes to believe in yourself through that kind of criticism and know that on the other side, it's going to look different. Is one of the most impressive things I've seen in wrestling. And I'll say this, not one other horsewoman has even attempted it. Not even one. And I'm not trying to be critical of Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair and Bayley. I love those wrestlers. I think they're awesome. But not even one has tried to do big time Becks. The rug got pulled. No, didn't work. This one's working with gimmick changes.
For now.
Charlotte Flair, babyface run into the Rumble last year. Nope, rug got pulled. Right? Because people were upset. Bayley, 3 personalities. Feels like the rug's getting pulled. Damage control feels like the rug's getting pulled.
Oh, yeah.
What Mercedes Mone did is sat in the fire and absolutely built a monster out of this. And she's going to make the most wrestlers of anybody in the foreseeable future. And she just did it last night with Willow Nightingale to start. And it was perfect. I am blown away by that. Like it's so funny to me, just from a delayed gratification standpoint. We got a 2-for-1 special here. We wanted to see Mercedes Mone lose and start to lose. And she gave us a preview of what it looks like. And then she loses the big one on the last Dynamite of the year. And we wanted Willow Nightingale to get a serious singles push. And we got that on the last Dynamite of the year. It seriously was like a late Christmas gift, Shad. Did you feel the same way?
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, I don't owe any apologies to my CEO because I acknowledged my CEO from the very beginning. This is what it was always going to be. And Mercedes Mone leaving the WWE only benefited all of professional wrestling. And that goes from AEW and that goes to all the independent wrestling promotions that she has collected belts, has performed the whole 9. This was always going to be the end game. And if you look at it, Red Velvet feels a lot more important after she beat Mercedes Mone. Alex Windsor feels a lot more important after she beat Mercedes Mone. And now Willow last night, the one who got the biggest belt that Mercedes was holding, feels a lot more important pinning Mercedes 2 weeks in a row, beating her in a title defense for the tag belts and beating her last night. So all the talk about Mercedes Hogan, she's selfish, everything she does has no value, blah, blah, blah. Well, she had y'all talking a lot. I mean, y'all were kind of living rent-free in her head how much you were concerned about all the belts that she was holding. And now where's that satisfaction that you guys are having? Where's the parade for it, right? You know that you're happy about it, but you're quiet because you had an issue with her and you know that her master plan is working throughout it all. Mercedes Mone is someone who bet on herself. She stood up for herself, and I have the highest respect for her over all the horsewomen for that fact. She was misused, mistreated for all the great that she's done in the WWE. She was never looked in the same realm as Charlotte, as Becky, and she said, you know what? I'm out. I'm out. Y'all have no vision for what these tag titles is. I'm not doing that. She was able to leave, and look what she has culminated for herself. She's easily the best wrestler out of all 4 horsewomen last year when you talk about booking, and that is all off the merit of herself. And she accomplished so much in defeat as a character. So major props to her. I think she has had probably arguably the best championship run in all women's wrestling in regards to anybody holding either belt in AEW, and that is to be respected. Now, let's talk about Willow for a quick second because I don't want to make it all about someone who lost. Willow Nightingale deserves this more than any other woman on that roster does. She is the epitome of what you want as a babyface, and that's all of pro wrestling. She has a bubbly personality. She's fun, but she's also such a unique character where she's just super strong, powerful. She reminds me like of a superhero in a sense, right? She has a lot of that into her, and she is someone that you can really put that rocket on, and she's soaring throughout the entire galaxy. And for this to have 2 titles on her, I love it. I absolutely love it. I feel like this is someone in the 2026. This should be her time. This should be her turn. She should win every women's belt this year. She should get the AEW Women's Championship off of Statlander down the road as well. You know what I'm saying? Like she should hold that. That should be it. Like I'm the one who held all the belts, and this should be her year. She should have that same baton passed by Mercedes last night and run that same marathon this year, where she's the ultimate boss. So salute to Willow, salute to Mercedes. Absolute banger match, one of the best TV matches in all of AEW to close out the last Dynamite of the year.
I'm so with you. And yes, Willow deserves it. Interesting comment here from Fernando really quickly. He said, I'm happy for Willow, but I disagree with the decision if she's winning the TBS championship. And that was always part of the plan. Then another team should have become the new women's tag team champions. And then he added, nothing against Willow, but we are crowning too many double champs. It's no longer special to be a double champ.
So
I'm not going to lie to you, man. This is not professional wrestling's fault. This isn't Willow's fault. This isn't Mercedes' fault. This is Conor McGregor's fault. I point the finger firmly at TKO. He ruined it by not defending either as Conor McBroken ankle as champ never defended a title in his entire career, and he ruined the champ status. Bailey Dose straps was dope. Kenny Omega, the belt collector, was dope. Mercedes Moné collecting all the belts is sick.
Ultimo Dragon back in the day.
WWE just took a documentary off of Peacock that was actually absolutely excellent called Untold, where Shawn Michaels and Kevin Nash carry all the belts from back in the 90s. It's a shame that we can't watch it anymore. Thanks a lot, TKO.
Who would have been the tag champs though? Like the only other
that's
team
what I'm saying.
Marina and Bane maybe, but they're not really like. I don't think they wanted them to be a team. I think a lot of it just happened because Ford got hurt. I know a lot of people say the Spooky Girls, man. I'm sorry, yo. I gotta be completely real with you. I am not feeling them as a team because they come off mad generic when they try to play that the shining little twin sisters and talking at the same time. They don't fear nothing. Sky Blue needs to be like a women's Cactus Jack. That should have been her thing after Blood and Guts. She should be an ultimate badass. That's how you label her. And then Julia Hart could be Alexa Blissless all she wants.
And I actually love this comment, by the way, from Adrian Padilla. I wanted to get to. He said, closing one door can open many more. I dig that. Sorry. That's the only thing I wanted to read that too. But seriously, like, what an interesting end to the year for AEW in a lot of ways. And I'm so excited to see what happens in 2026, because there's just the tides are changing.
Harley Cameron deserves a belt.
Yup. Let's get that done in 2026.
Harley deserves to be a champion right now with them tag belts. So the thing is this, the moment was mostly because everyone was like, yo, Harley finally got a tag belt. So
he added Ty Mello, Sisters of Sin. I mean, I don't know. Ty's not really.
I don't think allegedly Anna Jay is a free agent.
Yeah. I'm not even sure on that, unfortunately.
So we might be covering her on Tuesdays at some point. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Alongside our new friend Blake. Shoot.
Yeah, but we can't hate on Anna Jay. She's a sweetheart.
No, I know, and everyone's gonna expect it. Watch me be the biggest Anna Jay fan in the world if that's the case.
I would want Anna Jay.
No spoilers though.
If she was to go to NXT, I would want her to have like an Ethan Page situation where it's like, okay, I can kind of like reinvent myself and really try to become a star like that.
100%. Well, that is going to bring us to the end of the show today, my friends. Thank you, everybody that tuned in. We hope you had the happiest of New Year's here at WR. As I mentioned before, check out that Tom Talks Rubbish episode tomorrow with me. And then if you're bored the rest of the day, check out the Kobe and Ben episodes as well, too. But mostly me. And then we'll be back same time, same place tomorrow, of course. That is noon Pacific, 3 o'clock on the East Coast, 8 o'clock over in the UK, and 9 a.m. for my good friends in Hawaii. Happy New Year on behalf of me, Shad Merry, and whatever.